the water. We're ready to rock and roll. It is Dave Hubbard and Magno Oliveira. Dave Hubbard in red and Magno in yellow. Who are you going for?
I'm going to have to side with Dave Hubbard on this one. Dave's got the momentum going. He's already won the drop knee division for this event, and he's just been out there charging. He's taken over some of his heats and completely dominated. I honestly think we're going to see Dave Hubbard and Pierre in the final facing off.
Wow, that would be very interesting. But you know what? It's not going to – it all comes down to the next 30 minutes. This is a 30-minute semifinal out in the water. In yellow, the Brazilian, he's a contest machine. He can pull it off. Magno Oliveira in yellow. Dave Hubbard in red, yes, he is in rhythm, and he can totally make it to another final. A dual final for David Hubbard is a possibility. If you want to put your own bets down, go for it. Bodyboardbet.com, and the odds, everything are there. Go for it. Have fun.
To retouch on my opinion of who's going to win this heat, Magno, like I said, I was talking to him earlier. I think both of these guys have an equal opportunity out there. I was talking to Magno, and he said he's still focusing heat by heat. He's not worried about the ranking.
Check this out, Jackson.
Here he is up and riding, getting things started.
All right, getting things started is right. Magno Oliveira drawing first blood, semifinal number 2, goes around the entire section, and very uncharacteristic of Magno. Your point of view is the same point of view that we're seeing, and I think he passed a couple sections to get to another section, and he just hit the lip a little bit too late. Let's take another look. What happened?
Here you can see Magno dropping in on this one, and it looked like he caught his rail a little bit at first. Resets his line, not quite in the barrel, looking for the section. There you can see him adjusting his line, his bottom turn, driving down the line, passes up the section, and when he does go up to hit off the lip, going for an air forward, he hits it late and punches the spin through the lip. Meanwhile, up and riding, Dave Hubbard with a nice air reverse to get himself on the board. And he comes out through the water. Nice, clean execution on Dave Hubbard. I think he got the better of the exchange on that.
Oh, for sure. Dave Hubbard with a nice textbook air reverse 360 on that oncoming section. You know what? I'm speechless right now.
Here you can see he hits that section nice and clean, gets good rotation, comes down, lands on that whitewater explosion coming up underneath him. Little extra padding on the landing. Gets it around, comes out through the whitewater. 5.9 for Dave Hubbard on that. That will put him in the early lead with just under 27 minutes remaining in this 30-minute final. Magno Oliveira with a 4.0 on his first wave.
Incredible. So David Hubbard, he already made the drop knee final, and he won the drop knee final here at the Encanto Pro. Here he is in the final, facing off with Magno Oliveira. David Hubbard on fire.
Yes, Dave Hubbard, team rider for Moray Boogie Bodyboards, earning his paycheck thoroughly and looking to earn not only the DK paycheck, but looking for another paycheck as well.
Exactly. So, you know what? He's already in the money rounds. If he makes it to the final, it's just going to add more cash into his bank account. So, a little bit of time. Big shout-outs to everybody watching from around the globe. Please email us at messages@ibaworldtour.com. Julian Marymont giving a shout-out to their French phenom, Pierre-Louis Costas. Check this out. We do have Pierre downstairs with Shaggy, the winner of Heat number 1, semifinal number 1.
I'm here with Pierre-Louis, the first of the finalists to make this event. Pierre, how does it feel to be one of the select few to have scored a 10-point ride in the competition?
Yeah, I'm super happy. That's actually my second 10-point of the year, and it's so hard to get 10 points today with the level in the comp. So it's a very good reward for me, and yeah, I'm super happy.
So let's talk us through that 10-point ride then, hey?
Yeah, well, I had priority and our sick ride came. I just saw that big ramp coming and could have done like maybe a big effort or something, but like I'm in the contest and I was like, I'm gonna go for a backflip, try to go as high as I can. And yeah, it was surprising that with the landing it was pretty smooth, and I was worried that it's gonna be very, very hard, but yeah, I'm super stoked to get a 10 on that flip, and gives me a lot of confidence for the rest of the comp.
Well, your tactic of keeping to the backflips is paying off, so I'll let you go get ready for the final. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot, Shaggy.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Shaggy. And that was PLC scoring the perfect 10 in that heat. I think my volume has gone up 3 notches since he hit that perfect 10.
All right, live action out the back, yellow, dropping in, Magno Oliveira, the Brazilian, pulling in, dropping in, and what's he going to do? Goes for a big air roll spin on that one, I believe. I looked up. I was looking at my Sprite. I will take another look and make sure if that was an air roll spin. Jackson, back me up.
Air roll spin finishes with a roll on the inside. So Magno Oliveira with a nice wave there, and he'll paddle back out for some more. As I was saying earlier, Magno currently comes in ranked 9th in the world. Everybody ahead of him, except for Pierre, has been eliminated from this competition. So he has a key opportunity to make up some ground in the standings so that he can go into Fronton with a shot at the title.
All right, here's another look at Magno's last wave. It was an air roll spin, an aerial maneuver combined with a spin maneuver and a roll maneuver. That is an ARS, an air roll spin. He finishes off that wave with a roll on the inside. And here's Magno paddling back out.
Magno scoring a 6.9 on that last wave. So with 2 waves under his belt, he has the advantage over Dave Hubbard right now, sitting in the first spot. Dave with a 5.9 looking for a secondary score. But Magno, again, in the title hunt, he has a prime opportunity to really make up some ground. He could very well go from on the outside looking in to having a legitimate title shot going into the 8th and final event of the year in the Canary Islands at El Fronton.
We've seen David Hubbard paddle over this wave right now on the outside. It could be another wave forming up on the outside, and here it is, David Hubbard in red, taking a look at this left-hander.
Dave Hubbard up and riding, high speed line at first, drops down, gathering speed, big air reverse off of that end section.
Oh my!
And he comes out and salutes the crowd after that.
David Hubbard is on fire today, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the Kauai Islander, David Hubbard in the red jersey. We're going to have to take another look at this. Taking off deep on this left-hand section. It's all about that section at the end of this wave, and it's speed, trim, the entire wave. Sets his eyes on the section, and the timing is perfect. And he throws it, banks it. Perfect skying, reverse 360, lands perfectly. That is a 9.5 for David Hubbard. Unbelievable.
Unreal, Manny.
Ow.
The riding we're seeing here in the semifinals is getting me so amped. I love that. The little salute at the end. Not only letting the judges know he finished, but claiming it and letting people know it.
Definitely a character on the tour for sure. David Hubbard is on a good one today. He won the drop knee final. Here he is trying to make an effort to get into the prone final. Definitely looking good right now with a 5.9 and a 9.5 on his scorecard.
And currently sitting in second, that puts Magno Oliveira in a situation where he needs an 8.51 or better to catch Dave. Dave starting to separate himself from Magno in this heat.
21 minutes remaining, tons of time. Magno, plenty of time. He can totally pull it off. So, again, thank you for tuning in. This is the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico on the northwest side in Paradise. Everybody tuning in, we appreciate you guys for watching and signing on. Shout out to Steve Action Jackson from Brazil and the Posto Cinco crew. They're watching intently. Also, we are, check this out. We'll get back to the shout outs. Isabella Sousa. This girl is amazing. Wait until she hits the water.
Speaking of Brazil, there Isabella Sousa scoring a perfect 10 of her own yesterday.
Unbelievable.
Again, like I said before, an 8.5 and a 10-point ride on her first 2 waves yesterday. She came out of the gate firing yesterday on all cylinders.
This rider, Isabella, definitely is at the level with the men. She is absolutely an incredible rider, and throw in the mix of big waves. Now you have the quality of rider. This girl, Isabella Sousa, let's see what she did yesterday. We do have a clip, what she was performing like yesterday. Here's another look.
Here's the perfect 10-point ride. Pulls up into the pocket, sets her line, driving through the barrel. Nice, long, deep barrel ride. Here she comes out, and she's eyeing up that oncoming section. Readjusts her line, sets for the end section.
Watch this.
Here you can see her projecting up, and she's going to absolutely boost this air reverse. It was raining, it was windy, it was overcast, and she was just out there charging.
Unbelievable. That was her second wave in that semifinal, and it drew a 10 from the judges, and look how excited and happy she was punching through that. Here's another wave that she had yesterday. Well, you know what? Stay tuned. Live action of the women's final is coming up soon, so don't go anywhere. David Hubbard and Magno Oliveira currently in the water. We do have that clip ready.
Yes, before she hit the perfect 10-point ride, this was her opening wave. She hit a big roll, scored an 8.5 for size of wave and, difficulty of maneuver. The thing that struck me as interesting yesterday, later in the heat, he had an air roll spin that scored a 7.75, and that was a throwaway score.
Yes, it was very unfortunate for her competitor, Carla Costa-Taylor, who had to compete in the semifinal with her, and she had to succumb to the performance that Isabella was thrown down in that semifinal. Here's another look at that big roll. Again, big wave charger, big move maker. This is Isabella Sousa from Brazil, just going absolutely berserko yesterday. She is coming up in the women's final, coming up soon.
You want to talk about setting things off with a bang. Coming out, first wave, and that's what she hit. A big, massive roll on the right-hander, and it was on from there.
She could totally take out not only a lot of the women's, the riders in the women's field, but definitely some of the riders in the men's field as well. Isabella Sousa coming up next against Lily Pollard, the Australian. That is your final coming up in the women's division. Currently out in the water, where are we at, Jackson?
Right now, out in the water with about 18 minutes remaining, we have Dave Hubbard from Hawaii in the lead with a 5.9 and a 9.5 on his first two waves. Sitting in second, Magno Oliveira still in the yellow jersey, a 4.0 and a 6.9. He is currently chasing at 8.51.
Sorry about that, Jackson. I just get excited when we go to the live feed and somebody's on a wave because you don't know what to expect. All of these riders can throw down big moves at any second, so it's good to have the live action as the priority.
Well, as we've seen on any given wave, we could be witnessing a 9.5, a 10. These guys are throwing down out in the water. I'm amping here in the booth. The producers are probably going deaf from listening to me scream through my microphone.
Well, I'm really excited that you put on some deodorant today because we're both sweating up here. So you smell nice. I like to be next to you when you smell good. And, yes, it is a hot and heavy weather here, but it is hot and heavy action out in the water. Semifinal number 2, Dave Hubbard could be looking at a dual final here at the Encanto Pro. We will see in 17 minutes remaining in this semifinal.
Yeah, Dave Hubbard looking to make some bank here in Puerto Rico. He's going to be big pimping back in Hawaii the way he's going.
Yeah, he might have enough to actually buy a car. I don't even know if he has a car back home. But he is a vagabond. It is David Hubbard taking a look. It is Magno Oliveira. So a couple more shout-outs. We know Sean Figueroa. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the props in your message. Also, I need help on this one. It is written in Brazilianese. Jackson?
Good luck, my brother Uri. Quebra tudo, man.
All right, that was sent from?
That was sent from Usley.
All right, there you go. From Brazil, they have tuned in. Unfortunately, Uri Valadao did not advance on from semifinal number 1 against PLC. So keep sending your shout-outs at messages at ibaworldtour.com, and we will try our best to get to them. So, Jackson, let's do a quick rundown, little lull in the action of our sponsors here for the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. They have been very supportive to make things happen here. And coming up next, Lily Pollard, the Australian, going against Isabella Sousa. Look at that trophy. Right, just like dangling a carrot in front of all the competitors.
And there also you can see Lily's signature board behind her that she's riding from Milkshake's bodyboard.
That's right.
Getting ready to hit the water. In the meantime, the Encanto Pro, the IBA stop number 7 here in Puerto Rico, is presented by the Tourism Board of Puerto Rico. See PuertoRico.com. Puerto Rico does it better. Also, Coors Light, the official beer. We will get back to the sponsors.
Yes.
We're going to throw to a clip of Lily from yesterday.
Lily was also in the semifinal, got past through the semifinals against the local charger, Natasha Sagardia, and Lily actually put together a great performance.
Yeah, here we can see Lily dropping in on this wave. She pulled out the win in the closing seconds of that heat.
Yes, she did. She actually performed beautifully, but she was behind the scores of Natasha. And in the very last few seconds, like you said, she pulled it off. Coming up next in the final, in the women's division, Lily Pollard and Isabella Sousa.
What we saw yesterday in Lily's heat, she used the priority system to her benefit. She sat on the priority. She waited strategically for the set waves to come, and set wave came her way in the closing seconds of that heat, and it paid off in her behalf.
Up and running, live action, Jackson, Magno Oliveira. Oh, too deep behind that section, was not going to go for the barrel. He would not have made that section, so he cuts out Magno Oliveira in the yellow jersey, the Brazilian, heading back out.
And you were asking about my Brazilian. For those at home viewing, I apologize if I make mistakes with my Portuguese. I speak a little bit. I'm still not 100% proficient in it, but I'm still working on it.
All right.
So.
Yeah, no worries. Do what you got to do, even though I've been pronouncing Magno Oliveira's name wrong. All right, so again, we are here in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And yes, the Seven Wonders could be here in Puerto Rico. What do you got on that, Jackson?
Be sure to go to new7wonders.com/Yunque and be sure to vote for Puerto Rico's El Yunque rainforest as one of the new 7 wonders of nature. This island, filled with amazing things to see. One of the true marvels to see, though, is the El Yunque rainforest. So please be sure to go online and vote before 11/11/11. Vote for Yunque rainforest as one of the new 7 wonders of nature.
Unbelievable. I've actually visited there about 12, 13 years ago, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a jungle. It's actually a full-on jungle here on the island. I mean, you have it all on this island. You got beautiful beaches, warm water, the temperature is insane, and the people are phenomenal. And you have a very beautiful jungle on the island. It's beautiful.
You've got a rainforest. You've got scenic mountains. And part of Manny's fortune in having this gig with the IBA is he gets to travel around and do all kinds of crazy stuff with the production team.
Well, I look serious right there, and I got my protection there from a possible crocodile bite. I actually had to get some kind of protection because Alberto, the tour guide at Croc Island, just south of Puerto Escondido, is where we went in Puerto Escondido. Again, we are developing a documentary of the entire tour, and you're going to see cool clips of the riders and myself at all these locations. And so be prepared to see some unbelievable footage.
Now, let me get this straight. You were using a water bottle duct taped to your arm to protect you against a crocodile bite.
Yeah, because I had air inside of the water bottle, and it'll protect my arm from.
You really thought a water bottle was going to protect you from a croc?
Yeah.
I don't buy.
Live action, here we go. It is Magno Oliveira up and riding, looking, and oh man, he knows he doesn't have priority, so he's just trying to grab anything in sight. But it is, look at it, he's passing by Seamus Makeup. Seamus has the camera up and ready for this. David Hubbard.
Dave Hubbard up and riding, gets a nice roll, comes out, throws into the forward spin, up the face, and that'll be a quick roll to spin combination. That probably won't replace his 5.9, but we'll see.
All right, a couple more shout-outs came in, but hold on. Magno Oliveira on the left, sneaks under the barrel. Nice pocket ride, nice barrel roll on the exit of that wave. And Magno, now he has to dig deep. He's trying to build up on his lowest high. He has 2 high-scoring waves of a 4.0 and a 6.9. He's trying to build on that 4.0. This could be it with this barrel ride.
And they can see the barrel ride while Dave is paddling back out. So Dave with a perfect view of it. And then there you see the roll out of the barrel. Nice maneuvering there from Magno Oliveira.
Are you losing your words? Where are you, Jackson?
Sorry, I was trying to look at one thing, and then you're pointing to another thing. We got action on the screen.
It is full of action here, Steve Action Jackson. Welcome, everybody, to the Encanto Pro Puerto Rico. We are winding down the actual event today with the finals of the women's. Coming up next, we are winding down semifinal number 2. Out in the water, Dave Hubbard versus Magno Oliveira. PLC 1 semifinal number 1. He is waiting patiently for the winner of this heat for the final in the men's division. And we already saw the DK final where David Hubbard took the win in the DK final.
I wish you folks could see the setup that we have here for the broadcasting. We've got our monitor. We've got our live instant scoring. We've got the camera going. Manny's got his computer with stats. I've got my computer with stats. We've got all kinds of stuff set up in front of us. Notebooks, notes, merchandise. And we're sitting here in the middle of paradise. You know how hard it is to not just look over all the stuff in front of us in the broadcast booth and just check the live action out in front of us? It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
All right, out in the water. Looks like a little bit of texture is coming by way of the wind, the north wind. So we may see the conditions change a little bit coming up for the finals. But you know what? These riders know how to deal with it. And we will see it shortly. So don't go anywhere. Semifinal number 2. Jackson, bring us all up to speed.
9.5 minutes remaining out in the water. Dave Hubbard remains in the lead with a 5.9, and on the strength of that 9.5 that he scored.
Wow.
Magno Oliveira with a 6.9, and he scored a 6.75 on his last wave, which improved his effort a little bit. He still needs an 8.51 or better to catch Dave, but an 8.51, completely manageable for a rider of Magno's caliber.
All right, continue throwing those shout-outs out to messages at IBAWorldTour.com and PLC. You got support from VICH number 3. Also, Tomas is watching from Perth, or giving the shout-out to Dave Greeno and all the Perth bodyboarders. Also, Buckle, Sam Buckle. He's claiming that the first person to do a barrel roll, it was an English bodyboarder called Hago Elliott. We're going to double-check that stat. If it is true, Sam Buckle, we appreciate it. And Sunshine Coast Bodyboard Club, everybody watching as well. Let's check out, what do we got?
We're going to take a look at Dave Hubbard's 9.5 ride. And
This was that big reverse.
Casey dropping in, driving down the line, projecting off the bottom, heading up to the top, and here it is, Manny.
Wow, nice carving. Actually, aerial reverse spin on that oncoming section, and he pulls it beautifully. Uh-oh, look at the rain is starting to come down here in the beaches of Isabella at Middles, and David Hubbard is waving his hand.
Yeah, we've got pouring rain coming down, coming in, making things a little more interesting. But you know what? It doesn't make much of a difference when you're out in the water because you're already getting wet anyway.
Well, lucky for us, the wind is not as fierce as it has been. We had wind and rain, so everything was getting wet under our canopy here. So we are okay. It's coming straight down. The riders waiting patiently. We are going to stay tuned with the live feed, continuing on with some more shout-outs. It is Manuel from Portugal giving shouts to Pierre. Portugal? Oh, his girlfriend, Ruth, is from Portugal, so he's got a Portugal fan base as well as look at that beautiful shot. The rain coming down from Seamus Makeham in the waterproof camera. Hector Morales tuning in, and we also have Juan Carlo from Portugal. Sam, thank you for tuning in, and yes, James B. giving a shout out from Trenton, New Jersey. Woo! Wow, look at this. Okay, conditions like this are some of my favorites, rainy and glassy, and it could be this guy too, David Hubbard out the back.
Nice
Wow.
invert on that one from Dave. You can see him tweaking and come through the landing. Very clean.
Have you ever done air or just racing down the face of a wave when it's raining? You get these little water droplets just pelting at your eyeballs. It kind of hurts.
Yeah, it does. I've been out in the water actually during oncoming hurricane swells where the rain is driving sideways, and it feels you're getting pelted by rain. It feels like you're getting hit by BB gun shots.
Well, you know what? I'm not complaining. I'd rather have water, rain, pellets. But look at this. Okay, here's another shot. David Hubbard out the back. Big invert right there. Look at how far he drops till he gets to the bottom of that wave. At least a 10-foot drop. Nice, clean, smooth landing from David Hubbard.
And he's going to score a 7 on that, a 7.0 from the judges. That's going to be his new secondary score, so he improves his position. Now Magno Oliveira needs a 9.6 or better to catch Dave Hubbard.
6 minutes remaining, semifinal number 2 out in the water. PLC waiting in the finals for the winner of this semifinal. So that will be coming up soon. Women's World Tour final, the women's final is coming up, and there's Lily paddling out.
All right, so right now we have Dave Hubbard out in the water in the men's semifinal. He already won the drop knee division for this event. We're going to take a look at the last wave he had. He got a 9.65 on this ride. Take us through it, Manny.
Yes, this was the drop knee final that went down earlier today, and David Hubbard's last wave of the heat on the buzzer was this wave. A backside carving face turn right there. It sets him up perfectly for a nice barrel cover-up, and he's not done yet. He still has a long way to go. He follows that up with a nice rail transition into another nice hard carving, chunks of water just spraying all over the place. Beautiful carve right there from the Kauai Island loco from Hawaii. It is David Hubbard, ends this 9.6. That was earlier today. Magno Oliveira, will he get scored for this wave? The horn has sounded to end it. He's going for it anyways. Reverse. I don't think that's going to help him out. 9.6 is what he needed. And we will see what the judges have to say. We'll check out what Magno was referring to. David Hubbard out the back coming in as well. Woo! Another crazy semifinal right there. And we're going to take another look at Magno's reverse on this one.
There he is, holding a high line, looking to drop down, get the speed and momentum for the oncoming section. There he is, drops down, coming off the bottom. You can see that water streaming off the bottom of his board. He projects up and goes for the bank reverse off the top.
Look at his legs cross. That is a perfect reverse spin right there. Legs cross. It brings everything together so you can spin around quicker, smoother. And that was a very nice textbook reverse spin right there for Magno Oliveira.
So last couple of scores still waiting to register from the judges. And we're going to get ready to go into the next semifinal.
Yes, that first, that drop knee final saw a lot of waves. This semifinal slowed down just a little bit, which means the women's final we're hoping for a lot more waves to be coming in from Mother Nature. There is the final scores for that heat. It is David Hubbard doing the impossible. Now dual finals for David Hubbard in the men's final, and he won the drop knee final. So congratulations to David Hubbard for doing something that has never done before. Incredible.
Puerto Rico has been pretty kind to Dave Hubbard here on this trip with this event. His good fortunes continue again.
David Hubbard in the red jersey pulling off the win over Magno Oliveira in yellow. So Magno still has a shot. David Hubbard now going to the finals, facing off with PLC, the French phenom, the backflip extraordinaire, and David Hubbard, the smooth technical rider. They're going to face off in the final in the men's division right after the women's final coming up next.